course, Duluth FC. Starting in goal, number 33, Devan DiGrado. At right back, number 2, Teddy Miranda. At center back, number 16, Luis Vergara. Also at center back, number 3, Juan Diego Corral. At left back, number 29, Tyler Guerrero. At midfield, number 26, Mark Donaldson. At midfield, number 6, Alexis Santamaria. At wing, number 20, Toby Gerber. At wing, number 14, Adrian Mejia. At mid, number 30, João Magalhaes. And at striker, number 22, Liam Pritchard. And now let's meet the starting 11 for your Minnesota Blizzard FC. In goal, number 0, Danny Burgos. At forward, number 2, Alexander Estrada Cortez. On defense, number 4, Noah Hermanson. At midfield, number 5, Max Just. At midfield, number 6, Diego Navia. At forward, number 7, Jaden Morgan. On defense, number 10, Devan DiGrado. On defense, number 15, Evan Moreno. At midfield, number 16, Carter Hermanson. On defense, number 21, Matt Locker. And at forward, number 23, Kian Magoe. And now we ask you to please rise if you are able, remove your caps, and face the flag as we play the national anthem.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome inside Lakeville North High School as we are getting set to go for this NPSL soccer matchup between Duluth FC and your Minnesota Blizzard FC. Glad you're with us on Game Time. My name is Anthony Winker. Happy to be here with you again for the third time this week. This is going to be a big matchup here as the jockeying for positioning in the NPSL standings continues. The Blizzard finally finding their way back into playoff position after an exciting victory their last time out against Joy Athletic Club. And Minnesota and Duluth FC has been one of the best all season long. So we'll see how this one goes. Starting 11s for both teams. We'll start with Minnesota Blizzard. And it'll be Danny Burgos in goal, Alexander Estrada Cortez, then Hermanson, Just, Navia, Morgan, DiGrado, Moreno, Hermanson, Locker, and Magoe. For the visiting Duluth FC, on the other side, Devan DiGrado is in goal, Teddy Miranda, D, Luis Vergara, D, Juan Diego Corral, Tyler Guerrero, also D. The midfielders, Mark Donaldson, Alexis Santamaria, Toby Gerber, Adrian Mejia. The forwards are Liam Pritchard and Joao Magalhaes for Duluth FC. Should be a fun game between these two teams. On the right side of your screen, moving to the left, will be Duluth FC and the white tops and the blue shorts. For the Blizzard, they will be in the jerseys that they've worn all 3 games in this homestand. The dark jerseys with the dark shorts as well. This is the best that the North Conference has to offer so far. Duluth FC 4-0-1, 12 points atop this conference. And the Blizzard 2-1-3, 7 points. But they can pull into sole possession of second place with a win today. And we're officially underway from Lakeville North High School with the Blizzard controlling to begin. Navia has it for the Blizzard, and already a whistle here. This will be a free kick, it looks like, for the Blizzard. They'll put it back into play. It's the first time this season that the Blizzard will have a rematch with an opponent, as they made it through. Actually, check that. The second time, they did play the Sioux Falls Thunder twice already this year. They beat them the first time, lost to them the second time, and they'll be looking to flip that script this time with the loss to Duluth FC last time that these two teams met back in late May. And a heartbreaking loss at that for the Blizzard as Navia is pulled down from behind. It looks like Magalhaes, and I think he'll probably would be shown a card here. I mean, you could clearly tell he just grabbed the back of his jersey and pulled down. And I don't think our referee wants to give out a yellow card this early in the game. So we just talked to Magalhaes and said, don't do it again, and we'll move on with the Blizzard taking the free kick. Hermanson battles with Gerber, and we're going to get foul here on Blizzard. No, it's going to be out of bounds. So just getting started here. A little over 2 minutes into this contest, and still scoreless, of course. They just get back into that. The last matchup between these two teams coming on May 27th, and that was in Duluth. Stoppage time goal from Teddy Miranda in the 6th minute of stoppage time in the second half was the only goal, and the 1-0 victory for Duluth FC in that one. So the Blizzard are hoping to avenge that one. And of course, this is the first time that Duluth FC has played an opponent for the second time this year. The reigning Midwest Regional champions from last season, falling in the national semifinals, coming oh so close to winning that title. And they're looking pretty good so far, and as they try to reclaim that and get back there again. But they did just suffer their first loss in their last game, a 1-0 defeat at Siouxland United FC. So we'll see if the Blizzard can make it 2 in a row against Duluth FC, but they got their hands full here. One of the stingiest defensive teams in the North Conference for sure. It's a bad pass, and that's intercepted by the Blizzard. We'll see what they can do in transition, but a lot of guys back for Duluth. Morgan plays it through, trying to save it, but not quite able to do so. Is Hermanson, and it will be a goal kick for the Duluth FC. Takeaway by the Blizzard. And Hermanson finds its way through for Just and gets it back outside. DiGrado stepping in on the left back position today. And pressure coming from Duluth will force the Blizzard all the way back to their goalkeeper, Danny Burgos. We'll restart the attack now. DiGrado. Worked forward, and Morgan took a big bump from behind. Another foul called on Duluth FC. We mentioned the stingy defense, and yeah, they've only given up 3 goals this year. And that is in 5 matches. They played one less than the Blizzard with their 6, but regardless, still that 3 goals. Still an impressive number. Just obviously the best in the conference so far. Fans wanting another foul. That time they won't get it. Be gathered in by Diego. Shot coming from distance. That one just missing the mark. Good effort from Jaden Morgan, I believe that was. Just not quite to be. This ball quickly pushed out of bounds. Goalkeeper today got it for Duluth FC is Devan DiGrado. Obviously the backbone of a pretty impressive run of goal prevention by Duluth FC. And here, looking for some offense, Tyler Guerrero knocked to the turf, foul called, and Duluth FC will take that free kick. Liam Pritchard will step it over it, credited with one of the 2 assists given to a Duluth FC player. 3 of their goals scored by Felipe Carley. He is not starting this game. He's on the bench, available. He's tipped up into the air. Burgos has to knock it over the top of the bar. It will be a corner kick, I believe, or will it? Yeah, it will. It's going to the corner for Duluth FC, but a high-level save needed to be made early by Burgos. So we'll see what he's got on first set piece of the game for either side, a Duluth FC corner. Comes the in-swinger, a little too hot to handle. Comes to the back post. And the defense for the Blizzard gather it in, and will try the counterattack. Estrada Cortez with a nice move along the sideline, trying to push it forward for Morgan. Pass was intercepted, and Crobot will get to it first and restart the Duluth FC squad. Now controlling is Santa Maria for Duluth FC. Puts it back for Crobot. Vergara will take the space he's given. Pushed it back towards the middle. Good ball movement in tight quarters in between the numbers for the Duluth FC squad. Be knocked out of bounds. It will be Duluth ball. It'll go quickly. Vergara. Looked like he was going to launch that one into the box. Kept it on the carpet. Now moved outside with some space to work. Is Duluth. Driven into the middle. Just couldn't quite get it through. Look out. Here's a chance. A shot taken and lofted over top of the bar by Santa Maria. Now the Blizzard going back to work. Trying to at least. Pass outside, but a little bit behind the intended target. Gerber pushes it outside. DiGrado is defending. Here comes another shot. DiGrado gets a piece of it. It's still free in the box. And looks like we're going to get a foul called on that box out by Pritchard. Miranda will push it back for Diego Corral. Guerrero, and now it's Gerber. A deep one, pushed into the box, looking for Pritchard, towards it that is. It'll come loose and free, and Burgos will dive on top of it and hold on and get things started quickly. We're nearly 12 minutes into this contest and still scoreless. And the last time, again, that these two teams met, there were no goals for 96 minutes. That's how Duluth FC was able to break a scoreless tie. In the 90th plus 6th minute to get that 1-0 victory. Now it's the Blizzard with a nice crowd here on hand, hoping to pay them back. This ball's going to go out of bounds on the end line, and I think the Blizzard have earned a corner out of this. You can hear, I don't know if you guys could hear, the viewers at home, but you kind of hear it that the Duluth wanted a handball, but they didn't get it, and instead it'll be a corner. Looks like McGully is stepping over it, and he's going to take it in swinger towards the box, and that was free. It's loose in the box, shot lofted back in, the header going just a touch wide. There's Morgan in there soaring. Try to deflect that one on frame, but he couldn't quite get a piece of it. But it looks like Duluth is the Blizzard are getting another corner here. Estrada Cortez is making himself available, looks like, for a short ball option, perhaps. And they'll take it, push it back outside to DiGrado. Line drive into the box, and that's in! Looked like an own goal from Duluth FC. DiGrado is the last one to touch it, but that'll be an own goal, I believe. Not sure whose head knocked that one in for the Blizzard, or for Duluth FC, that is, but regardless, what a start for Minnesota. So the Minnesota Blizzard lead it 1-0. The last touch by DiGrado. Will be nice. We'll give him credit for that goal. Just about 15 minutes into this one, and the Blizzard with that 1-0 advantage. Morgan dribbling just outside the box, comes free. Navia wins it. Trying to get that one onto his strong side. Outside McGoey drives it to the box, but it's headed out free. Just couldn't quite settle it on the first touch. He goes down, and foul is going to be called, I think, on the Blizz here. Navia took down his man. A great start for the Blizzard. Well, we'll see what they can do. If they can add anything more is going to be the big question. Duluth FC has yet to allow more than one goal in a game this year. So either Minnesota's going to have to be on their best defensive game here, or they're going to have to try to find a way to do something that no team has done against Duluth FC, and that's pot 2. For now, they can focus on that defensive side, trying to keep Duluth off the board. Vergara into the middle. Good D by Just. And he intercepts the ball again, flips it up. And knocked to the ground was Hermanson by Guerrero. Duluth FC wins the ball right back. Go for the deep ball for Pritchard, able to track it down just outside the 18. Pritchard and a triple team got it away. Driving in, comes to the middle, and the shot just off the foot wrong from Mejia. And that'll go out of bounds. It'll be a Blizzard goal kick. Foul called on Duluth FC. Santa Maria, the forearm to the back of Estrada Cortez. Hermanson trying to get a step in, stepped in front of by Guerrero. And we're going to get a foul, I believe, on the Blizzard this time. And Guerrero has been anticipating very, very well on the defensive side here. Hermanson. Set back. Now Duluth looking to attack once more. We are getting closer to 20 minutes into this contest. Field flipper to the near side. Vergara, plenty of space to roam. There goes that deep pass yet again. Knocked out of bounds by the Blizzard. Guerrero will throw it in. Tries to split the D and does. Vergara will hold it on the attacking side and trying to work it back into the attacking third. If they can, is Duluth FC, and a little miscommunication might allow them to do just that. Guerrero on the cross, comes free, unable to be gathered in by Mejia. Morgan flying in to try to help out defensively, and the ball gets cleared. A job to get back by Mark Donaldson, and he'll restart the FC attack. Estrada Cortez will dribble away from trouble, or tried to at least. Trying to get the return, but just off the edge of his foot, out of bounds it goes. Just past the 20-minute mark. Duluth FC, so far what we've learned, they like to go fast. It's cost them a couple of times perhaps in transition opportunities. Michael Hayes will move it for Vergara. Vergara. Pritchard trying to pierce through the D. On his strong side, Pritchard fires the shot from just outside the box. That's stopped by Burgos. Couple of saves necessary today for Burgos. He's been up to the challenge both times. Now the Blizzard trying to keep adding on. Kean McGoey and his 4 goals attack. Just into the 18. McGoey needs help. Finds it in Estrada Cortez. Just too heavy of a touch. But a shot from distance goes just wide from Navia. Diego Navia letting one fly. From about 25 yards out and just unable to get that one on frame. Head to ball from DiGrado. Look at the speed attacking right side. And now on the heels of the Blizzard, Pritchard. Outside handled by Gerber. Pass into the box deflected. Santa Maria. Flip it inside. And it's out of bounds. This will be a corner for Duluth. The Blizzard on top here in the first half, thanks to the own goal from Duluth FC. The last touch belonged to DiGrado. Devan DiGrado. We'll see if he ends up getting credit for it or not, but if he does, it'll be that his second goal of the year for the defender. Trying to guard against the corner. It's an in-swinger. Burgos got a hand to it. It's still loose, and he got his body there. And now some pushing and shoving in the box. Got to be careful if you're Minnesota and Burgos. Is he okay is the question. He's still down, and it looks like he's holding his right leg. And there's another Blizzard player down behind him as well. So a lot of bodies going down in that box. Hopefully everybody's okay. It looks like the one other Blizzard player other than Burgos who was down is back to his feet. Not quite getting an ID on that player. But Burgos is still down. believe the other player down for the Blizzard was Carter Hermanson, the midfielder, but Burgos. He is still down as well. So we'll take a quick break here and hope that Burgos is okay. Well, actually, he's back up to his feet now, so we'll keep it here. And we'll see if he'll be able to remain in this game or not. The other goalkeeper on this roster for the Blizzard, Dylan Ehlers. And it looks like he is motioning for him to come into the game, perhaps. He's been brilliant early for the Blizzard, making 2 big early saves. And it looks like he's going to remain in this game. So that's a good sign for the Blizzard. But the way that this one's been going, he's going to need to continue to be big if the Blizzard are going to come out of here with the upset victory. So good to see that he's okay, and he'll launch it down the field to put us back into action. Navia. Again taken down, another foul called. This one's going to go on Donaldson. Physicality of this game has been there. So far, these referees have not been having it. Matt Locker will get it off for Evan Moreno. This ball is headed down, and now Duluth FC on the counterattack. Got to be a little bit more protective of the soccer ball if you're the Blizzard. Possession is going to be everything here. Step and nearly stolen by Guerrero again. Number 29 in white. That guy's just been everywhere so far defensively for the Duluth FC squad. And we're going to get a foul called here. So Morgan is able to draw one on Vergara. That'll advance the ball a little bit further up the field under the Blizzard spell. Mgoe looks like he wants to drive this one into the box. They're still 40 yards out here. Everybody's lined up on the edge of the 18. Estrada Cortez is there too. McGoey's going to take it. Drives it in low. Not a good ball. And a good job to work it back free by the Blizzard. Can they keep it in? No. As this is going to go out of bounds off of Estrada Cortez. Or in front of him, I should say. McGoey, the leading goal scorer on the Blizzard this season. He's got 4 goals, which is second most in the entire NPSL. Not sure what Pritchard was thinking there. That ball just launched from just almost midfield. And Burgos will just lay on it. And did he contact the goalkeeper there? That's what the Blizzard fans think just happened. A couple maybe cardable plays from Duluth FC, but the refs haven't bitten yet. Good takeaway by Estrada Cortez, playing the play the ball through for Morgan, not quite there. Guerrero still has it. Gets it outside for Santa Maria. And Morgan now with a steal for the Blizzard. Navia Hermanson is making a run, but was well covered. Will force the retreat for Locker. And now Moreno. Navia navigates away from the double team. Locker drives it, somehow makes its way through to Estrada Cortez. A little bit heavy on the first touch, though. Worked outside to Teddy Miranda. His pass intercepted. Morgan in another lane. Jaden Morgan bringing the Blizzard in transition. Launches one from distance. And that'll be easily covered by Duluth FC's goalkeeper, Devan DiGrado. So the sounds that you're hearing below are the thunder sticks that the Blizzard handed out here before this contest. A really nice sized crowd on hand for this late Saturday night battle between Duluth FC and Minnesota Blizzard. And one of the biggest regular season games to date for the Blizzard, with a chance to pull into second place all by their lonesome with a victory here tonight over Duluth FC. And the own goal from Duluth FC helping the cause so far for that 1-0 advantage. Flag stays down for Pritchard as he's going to work. Pritchard gets near the end line, steps to the inside. Pritchard fires and he scores. And what an individual effort by Liam Pritchard, and this game is tied at 1. Pritchard just took a couple of Blizzard defenders to school, beating them to the spot inside the box, then working it back to the inside on his strong foot, and then letting the shot fly just off the outstretched foot of the goalkeeper. And as a result, we have a 1-1 game. Now, you're saying it a little bit earlier, but if Duluth, or rather the Blizzard, want to win this game, they're going to have to do something that no team has done against Duluth FC this year, and that is score 2 goals in one game. Duluth FC has never allowed more than 1 goal in a contest. They've allowed 1 in 3 contests, and that's it. 3 goals all season. 4 if you count this game today. Now, finally, a yellow card has been handed out by the referee. We'll go on to a Duluth FC defender. And I believe that is going to be Teddy Miranda who picks up that card. Here's the free kick into the box. Oh, and just missing on the header was DiGrado. Man, he had a good look at it for sure. Little too tall over the bar. Tyler Guerrero is just a little extra flair on everything he's doing today. Donaldson. Vergara, bad pass, intercepted by his number twin. Now the Blizzard on the counter attack. Navia working forward is just outside for McGoey, just out of his reach. Some rain starting to fall at Lakeville North High School. So it's too bad because we got a nice sized crowd here on hand. And got some umbrellas starting to come out. Undeterred, though, are some of the fans, the mascot, the kids, and, of course, the Blizzard's wonderful owner, Chad Hendricks. As long as there is no lightning, though, we will play on. He gets upended. We're going to get a foul called on Duluth again. Now we got some fans that are starting to run for the hills here. Gonna find a way. Under some tents, maybe. Hopefully not leaving the premises. Still 10 minutes to go in the first half. If we check on the radar here, it looks like it's going to just rain and rain for a while. We got a good system coming in here for at least another hour here. Looks like we'll have some rain. Check on this free kick, though, first from the Blizzard. Far sideline, about 30 yards out. Everybody set up on the box. Driven in, and soaring to clear is Duluth. Navia, a little too heavy on the touch. Taken away by his number twin, Santa Maria, but another turnover by Duluth. Locker soars off the knee in. Guerrero settles. Guerrero with the left foot down the field. Locker heads it away for Estrada Cortez. Magoe will hustle after this one, but this should be the Blizzard's ball. Off the deflection. And it will be. Not quite far enough for a corner, though, so they'll task DiGrado with throwing it. He's got a good arm, I should say. And we'll see if he can get this one all the way into the danger area. Looks like he's going to try to. Out high, Navia didn't quite come down for him. It's a good idea, though, by DiGrado. You could see what he was thinking. If he could have just gotten Navia to settle that one on his feet, he would have had a good look at a shot from just inside the 18. This ball still hasn't touched the ground. 6 touches before it does. And this will be a Blizzard. You'll now have to go back and defend for this throw by Duluth. One game so far. Goals from DiGrado and Pritchard, who's sprinting through the D again. Pritchard has certainly looked dangerous. Just got his first goal of the year. And now a header towards the box. And this ball is going to go out of bounds. Perhaps a little lucky. Or the Blizzard is getting undercut. Was Mago Hayes. The Blizzard will get their throw in out of this. And now the rain is starting to come down pretty good here. Santa Maria puts it off to the far side. Mejia. Now Vergara. Guerrero. The wing now cuts to the inside, splits it through. It passed just too far. And Duluth FC with a good recovery. Guerrero back out for Vergara. Looking to drive this one in the box and does. Finds its way through. Looking, dancing. It's a race. Shot taken. And that one went wide. Good chance for Mejia. But the Duluth FCD up for the task. Otherwise, that would have been the go-ahead goal. Still a corner for Duluth FC. They get it in, headed out by the Blizz. Gerber tracks it down. Incoming pressure coming in the form of Jaden Morgan. Pritchard's out high now. Lofts it into the box. Here it comes. Locked out of the air by Burgos. Not a bad idea, though, by Duluth FC. You got to wonder, goalie gloves are meant to be able to withstand the weather like this. But you never know. Takes that ball just slipping through the fingertips. Even if it doesn't go directly into the goal, perhaps create a chaotic situation. But not that time. Burgos ever sure-handed. 3 saves now in the game for Burgos on 4 shots on goal by Duluth FC. He's got just the one from Pritchard that's beaten him. And it wasn't clean. He got a piece of it on a shot from point-blank range. Navia with the ball on a string to get it away from Gerber. Well, the Blizzard back into the attacking third. Estrada Cortez settles it down. Back on the attack comes Duluth. Here comes the through ball. Pritchard on the race wins it. On the off foot, Pritchard. Good recovery by the Blizzard. Getting back defensively. What a play by Noah Hermanson to break it up. You could kind of tell what Pritchard wanted to do there. Wanting to get that back onto his right foot. But what a read by Hermanson to expect that and be there waiting. Navia met with a double team on the sideline, somehow able to work through it, and he got fouled. Or did he? Or no, I think they're going to say that he touched it with his arm. It's going to be a handball on Navia. So it'll be a free kick for Duluth. Now it just kind of feels like the Blizzard need to get this to the half without allowing another one. Duluth FC has been putting on the pressure. Looking for that free kick here. Into the box it goes, headed down. Soaring for the save is Burgos. It's still alive, back in, and cleared off the end line by the Blizzard. What a stop by Danny Burgos. He's been phenomenal in this contest. 4 saves, and at least 2 of them of extremely high difficulty. It's keeping the Blizzard even at 1. Hermanson will push it back. Locker will let it go by for Moreno. 2 minutes left to go in the first half before stoppage time. Out of bounds it goes. It'll be a throw for the Blizzard. Blizzard trying to stay perfectly unbeaten at home. 2 wins, no losses, 1 draw in 3 home games here at Lakeville North High School. The advantage for Duluth FC. The ball pushed too far ahead, out of bounds. Throw coming for the Blizz. A little further down the field, we'll do it again as time is continuing to march on. There should be a little bit of stoppage time for sure added. After the injury to Danny Burgos that ate up at least a couple minutes. comes FC, another look, trying to get it back for Pritchard, and he just takes out the legs of Hermanson. And will he go into the book? Doesn't look like it. There'll be a throw coming up for the Blizzard. Get some sponsorship reads out of the way. Kind of forgot about these here in the first half. Courtyard by Marriott in Roseville, the official indoor soccer hotel of choice for the Blizzard. And all of the visiting opponents, check out the QR code on their banner. X Hydration, the official sports drink and kit sponsor of the MN Blizzard FC. Check out their Arctic Blast flavor sold at home games and at Hy-Vee and via Amazon. Get some at the concession stand at the stadium. Just creating havoc and allowing the Blizzard to get this clear. And pushed all the way back. FC trying to advance again. The Blizzard are right there waiting. Just some space to work. Gets it down for Hermanson. Chips it through, looking for Noah. The two Hermansons can't quite connect, Noah and Carter, but they get a throw out of it. Trying to drive this ball off to allow DiGrado to get a nice firm grip on it before he'll try to launch this one in. You want to see him do the front flip throw. But I guess you don't need to do it if you can get it there already. Shot taken. Would have been offside anyway, but it came out the foot very high. The next sponsor is TOCA Soccer. Check out their upgraded facility in Burnsville. They're the official training site. The official indoor training site, that is, of the Minnesota Blizzard FC. Just turnover. Estrada Cortez fires off the bar. Just missed the second goal for the Blizzard by mere inches. There's a quick developing play on the turnover. And just unable to cash it in. Navia takes a dive, gets back to his feet with no foul called. Navia works it back outside, and now he goes down. And he is holding his right knee and looks to be in pain. Now, a yellow card is going to go out to Pritchard here. He'll go back into the book. This time for a penalty. Navia is back up to a sitting position. Pritchard is cooled off, and he's going to go back and to check on him. And Navia is barely putting any weight on that right leg. So I would imagine that he'll come out of this game. And we'll have a free kick coming up for the Blizzard. Next sponsor is Canada Bloom. Canada Bloom Wealth and Solutions is committed to helping you succeed. The ways we can help you are based on experience, not quick wins or fads. Give us a call to discuss how we can help you. Off the yellow card, here comes a free kick for the Blizzard. So we're into our 4th minute of stoppage time in the first half. Still waiting for the signal to go. And defender Locker is standing over it. And here we go. Launches it into the box. That's a good ball. Headed down by Duluth. Now they'll try to strike in transition. Shut right off by Moreno, the left back. That injury to Navia will add a little bit more stoppage time. Here comes Morgan. Estrada Cortez. Making a run was Hermanson with the ball just behind him. And that'll do it for the half. So a good half of soccer. A very entertaining half of soccer. A lot of shots for both sides, but both teams only able to bury it just once. And that is how the first half of action will come to a close, 1-1. A good half for the Blizzard. A couple of good chances, including one late to try to take the lead from Alexander Estrada Cortez, but just unable to bury one from just inside the 18, ripped it right off the bar. And instead, Duluth will have to settle for, or rather the Blizzard will have to settle for a halftime tie at 1-1. Danny Burgos, though, arguably the best player and the MVP of that first half for the Blizzard. 4 fantastic saves from Burgos after he looked to be potentially injured and unable to continue in this game, but he was able to recover and has kept the Blizzard afloat and alive and on track perhaps to at least get a result here. And if things break right for him in the second half, perhaps pull off the upset. We'll have to see. Second half of action will begin in about 10 to 15 minutes of action. Stay tuned on Game Time. Blizzard and Duluth FC locked up in a good one, 1-1.
America is always on the move, moving forward, moving up, moving home. And whether you are moving across town or across the country, Pods delivers when we say we will, with no surprise costs. Which is why we were voted America's #1 container moving company. Join over 6 million people who have trusted Pods with their move. Book your move today at pods.com. America is always on the move, moving forward, moving up, moving home. And whether you are moving across town or across the country, Pods delivers when we say we will, with no surprise costs. Which is why we were voted America's #1 container moving company. Join over 6 million people who have trusted Pods with their move. Book your move today at pods.com. America is always on the move, moving forward, moving up, moving home. And whether you are moving across town or across the country, Pods delivers when we say we will, with no surprise costs. Which is why we were voted America's #1 container moving company. Join over 6 million people who have trusted Pods with their move. Book your move today at pods.com. America is always on the move, moving forward, moving up, moving home. And whether you are moving across town or across the country, Pods delivers when we say we will, with no surprise costs. Which is why we were voted America's #1 container moving company. Join over 6 million people who have trusted Pods with their move. Book your move today at pods.com. America is always on the move, moving forward, moving up, moving home. And whether you are moving across town or across the country, Pods delivers when we say we will, with no surprise costs. Which is why we were voted America's #1 container moving company. Join over 6 million people who have trusted Pods with their move. Book your move today at pods.com. America is always on the move, moving forward, moving up, moving home. And whether you are moving across town or across the country, Pods delivers when we say we will, with no surprise costs. Which is why we were voted America's #1 container moving company. Join over 6 million people who have trusted Pods with their move. Book your move today at pods.com. America is always on the move, moving forward, moving up, moving home. And whether you are moving across town or across the country, Pods delivers when we say we will, with no surprise costs. Which is why we were voted America's #1 container moving company. Join over 6 million people who have trusted Pods with their move. Book your move today at pods.com. America is always on the move, moving forward, moving up, moving home. And whether you are moving across town or across the country, Pods delivers when we say we will, with no surprise costs. Which is why we were voted America's #1 container moving company. Join over 6 million people who have trusted Pods with their move. Book your move today at pods.com.
Welcome back inside Lakeville North High School as we are getting ready for the second half coming up shortly. The first half, as it stands currently, ended at a score of 1-1 And Duluth FC and the Blizzard, they're locked into a good one so far, as it's been a very, very entertaining game. Definitely, and all that we could ask for from these two teams that they have delivered us. And it's been two of the best in this conference really going at it. And not going too bad for the Blizzard. They are playing and hanging with the top team in the conference currently, as they did in the last contest between these two teams. And the score is 1-1. Minnesota Blizzard, they struck first with that goal from off the foot of Devan DiGrado. Took a deflection off of a head of a Duluth FC defender. Never was able to figure out who that was. But regardless, doesn't matter. Went into the back of the net, and it counts all the same for a 1-0 lead for Duluth FC. But later on, a great individual effort by Liam Pritchard to tie this game up at 1 apiece. And that is where we stand through the first 45 minutes of play in this contest. We got some heavy, heavy rain coming down here at the Lakeville North High School. So we will have to see how that affects these two teams coming out. It is coming down hard right now. So right now doesn't look like it's going to let up anytime soon. We got about 6 minutes or so before the second half will begin. So stay tuned for that. And while we wait, time to, of course, get some more of these sponsorship reads out of the way. Can't forget to thank the ones who help us pay the bills. Subway by McStop, the official post-game fuel for the Blizzard. Get a sub at the Blizzard game concession stand. Eat Subway, eat fresh. Christian Bros, great automotive services. Check them out at their Lakeville location or their two other locations in the metro. Schmitty and Sons, the official away game transportation for the Minnesota Blizzard FC. They get the Blizzard where they need to go with their reliable service. Summit Ortho in Lakeville with orthopedic urgent care open daily from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. at 6 locations metro-wide, including Lakeville Summit, has you covered. Also, set up your high school sports physical with them as well. Center Point Dental with 4 experienced dentists across 2 convenient locations in Lakeville and Burnsville. Center Point Dental is dedicated to providing professional, quality care to patients of all ages. Call for an appointment today. We'll take a break until the second half begins with the Blizzard and Duluth FC locked up in a good one. 1-1 through the first half of action on Game Time.
America is always on the move, moving forward, moving up, moving home. And whether you are moving across town or across the country, Pods delivers when we say we will, with no surprise costs. Which is why we were voted America's #1 container moving company. Join over 6 million people who have trusted Pods with their move. Book your move today at pods.com. America is always on the move, moving forward, moving up, moving home. And whether you are moving across town or across the country, Pods delivers when we say we will, with no surprise costs. Which is why we were voted America's #1 container moving company. Join over 6 million people who have trusted Pods with their move. Book your move today at pods.com. America is always on the move, moving forward, moving up, moving home. And whether you are moving across town or across the country, Pods delivers when we say we will, with no surprise costs. Which is why we were voted America's #1 container moving company. Join over 6 million people who have trusted Pods with their move. Book your move today at pods.com. America is always on the move, moving forward, moving up, moving home. And whether you are moving across town or across the country, Pods delivers when we say we will, with no surprise costs. Which is why we were voted America's #1 container moving company. Join over 6 million people who have trusted Pods with their move. Book your move today at pods.com. America.
Welcome back inside Lakeville North High School. It's getting ready for the second half of action between Duluth FC and the Minnesota Blizzard FC. So now, as we're back in action here, the Blizzard moving from right to left across your screen, and Duluth FC now moving from left to right. And by the way, just to update everybody, Diego Navia will not return to this contest. He's got an injury, so he has been subbed, and the Blizzard will be without his services for the rest of the contest here. Through ball coming through to DiGrado, trying to win this race, is just able to get there and will usher it out of bounds. Really nice defense by Devan DiGrado. Rain is still coming down pretty good out at Lakeville here, but got some fans who came prepared with the umbrellas. Staying as dry as they can, taking in some NPSL soccer. Duluth back on the attack. This ball's going to go out of bounds for a Duluth FC throw. Try to launch this one in the box, but Just is there to meet it. The sub for Navia, I believe, is Willen Schrock. He is going to come in and take the place of Navia. So that is the change. Looks like most of the rest of everything is pretty similar for the Blizz. McGoey. It's been held pretty quiet so far. We're trying to change that. McGoey still has it. Lets it go. Shot saved. What a look from McGoey, but a great save by a Crobot. Taking away a golden opportunity from the second leading goal scorer in this conference, Kian McGoey. So that's two just grade A chances for the Blizzard to try to take the lead. On the corner kick, the ball is loose. And McGoey just got leaped onto. This ball is going to go all the way back down to be a corner, or rather a free kick for Duluth FC. And now they got Pritchard on the move again. Burgos is way out there. And he'll kick it out of bounds and go sprinting back to his goal. Pritchard has had a couple of chances where he's made those big runs. Those passes have come from almost on the defensive side of the field a lot of the time. And they've been real close to hooking up and sending Pritchard in on all alone. Cross coming in. Burgos will step in. And this ball will go out of bounds for a goal kick. Burgos drives it in low. And this should be a Blizzard throw, and it will be. So Blizzard will get a chance to possess this ball. DiGrado with a long throw, and that deflects and goes out of bounds. Duluth FC will take over. Our next sponsor is Herbert's and Gerbert's, the Blizzard sandwich sponsor. Visit the Lakeville location for an awesome sub. That's at Herbert and Gerbert's. Spent a summer up in Duluth last year with the Duluth Huskies, covering them. I think there's an Herbert and Gerbert's in Duluth as well. So this could apply to fans of both teams, perhaps. DiGrado will get it in quick. And now it's back out high. Moreno. Shot of Cortez is back outside for Just. Just angles, and now Moreno, who retreated back to his spot, will settle it down. Locker on the far side. By the way, the Blizzard, they are approaching already this season the total number of goals they ended up scoring last season. 12 matches last year, they scored 10 goals, and they already have now scored 9 this year after the goal by DiGrado. So it's been a much, much better year and a much more competitive Blizzard team this year. Pritchard got shoved in the box. He wanted a foul, and he is pleading his case. And that would have been a PK had that one been called. So that's a lucky break for the Blizzard that one did not get called. Burgos will launch it. The ball just got stuck up in the air. He handled by Duluth FC. Here's Pritchard on the right foot. Fires and he buries it Upper corner. His second goal of the game, Pritchard. And Duluth FC grabs the 2-1 advantage. Just an absolute laser beam that Burgos could not get his arms up to in time. Now Pritchard has his first 2 goals of the year to give Duluth FC the 2-1 lead. We're back in action now, and all of a sudden, the Blizzard find themselves trailing. Jaden Morgan will launch this one, and one goes off of the right upright of the field goal post. This will be a corner kick for the Blizzard, but you have to go back to those opportunities. Of course, the one by Kean McGoey that happened at the start of the second half, and then go back to the end of the first half, too. You had Estrada Cortez, who had a one-on-one essentially from up just inside the box, and he rang the bar. So missed opportunities here are the difference in this contest for the Blizzard. They got a corner opportunity here, and they'll go up high. Estrada Cortez, swing and a miss. Rolls free, handled by the Blizzard. Back Locker, who's the last line of defense, will push it right back into the attacking third. But FC will counterattack. But a good play by Moreno to break it up. This goes out of bounds on that sideline. It'll be a throw for Duluth. So just over 9 minutes into this second half. The Blizzard now trailing by a score of 2-1. The goal of the night now for the Blizzard, try to stop Deuces, 22, who's got 2 goals. Deuce is wild, some might say. Stepping up is DiGrado. Falls at the feet of McGoey. But FC is able to recover. Dangerous pass. Works out for Duluth. Locker lost it. DiGrado trying to recover. DiGrado now has put himself into the corner, moves it free. And it'll be cleared fully now by the Blizzard. Estrada Cortez will track this one down. And now trying to loft it forward for McGoey, not quite. A good step by Chirac to take it away. And he'll dance in the midfield and give the Blizzard a chance to attack. They push it into the attacking third. This ball is going to be just saved by David Krobot. There will be a Blizzard throw-in thanks to his efforts versus the corner kick that it would have been. We're going to let DiGrado show off his arm again. Chirac heads it down. Just trying to get it back out for Hermanson, but just not on the same page. Hermanson trying to stuff it right back down low. It's intercepted by Duluth FC, but Chirac comes up with it. Chirac still has it. And then he finally does end up losing it, and now Duluth FC will take it the other way. Pritchard on the left side in a crowd, pushes it forward, but Burgos will slide in there to grab it. Estrada Cortez lost it out of bounds. It'll be a FC throw. Get some subs, it looks like, for Duluth FC. Coming in cold off the bench, and I mean cold off the bench. Got the weather chilling down and the rain coming down. That's got to be not the best combination for somebody who's got to come in now and play some soccer. Warm up those muscles somehow. Ball comes into the box. And clearance attempt just going right off of his teammate. That was very close to being a handball. It's almost very unfortunate. It could have been perhaps. Went off the shoulder. The Blizzard player. Teddy Miranda will throw it in for Duluth FC. Back on top 2-1, but still plenty of time left. Just over a half hour to play in this game. Blizzard ball. Some debate about it. DiGrado will try to clear the distance. Estrada Cortez with a nice physical play to win the ball back. McGoey tiptoeing, lost it. McGoey trying to win it back and does. McGoey towards the box, headed up, it's free. Looking for it is Morgan, but he couldn't quite find it. But a corner kick is coming up for the Blizzard. See what they got here. A chance to try to tie it up. A couple of good looks. Need to come up with a good corner here, though. In swinger, a little high outside, is headed towards the goal, but just wide. And it will be a goal kick for Duluth FC. Pritchard making another run. Pritchard going for the hat trick. Crosses instead, ill-advised and cleared by the Blizzard. There you go again, though. There's Pritchard again, who's just making those well-timed runs and creating havoc on the back end for Duluth FC, or for the Blizzard. DiGrado will launch this one up into the air, and out of bounds it goes for a throw. Estrada Cortez will deflect it out of bounds. FC's back on the attack. Shot from distance. Trying to create it all by his lonesome. Guerrero missing the target. Ball hasn't touched the ground in a while. Finally it does. Estrada Cortez. He's definitely not the biggest out there, but boys, he's scrappy. Pritchard goes down hard. And now a chance. Shot taken. Knocked down by Burgos. Got it clear. The pressure coming, and it'll just be launched out of bounds by the Blizzard. Gerber. And back out now, far side of the field for Santa Maria. Locker stepping in front, and he'll clear it. Pritchard. It's towards the box, deflected on target, stopped by Burgos. Back outside, and that shot didn't quite make it on. Burgos again coming up with a big save. But Pritchard recovers well defensively, puts FC right back onto the attack. And Danny Burgos doing everything he can to keep the Blizzard in this contest. 6 saves for Burgos now. And another beauty one right there. Strada Cortez. There goes Pritchard again, but this time DiGrado gets there in front of him and will kick it out of bounds. Got some subs coming in, it looks like, for Duluth FC. That is the halt and play here as Diego Corral will depart slowly. And now finally we're ready to resume play. Ball into the box. Burgos out aggressively. Carley's into the game now. He's the leading scorer on Duluth FC with 3 goals. Into the 65th minute here with the Blizzard trailing by a score of 2-1. Gerber moves it off. Now it's Miranda. Lofts it into the box. Trouble. And looking for the bicycle kick. But Burgos, I think he got hit hard. Yeah, he did. Right in the hand. And the shoulder maybe. Burgos out aggressively there. And then the bicycle attempt by Oye Bamiji. Right into the upper body. Now we'll resume play with the kick from Burgos. And good moves by Morgan trying to win the ball back. Couldn't do it. But Just will put the Blizzard, or try to at least, back onto the attack. Oyebamiji. Will be cleared down the field. Pritchard steps in front. Makes forward progress. And now it's Pritchard. Still has it. Gerber. Gets it back out for Vallejo. Gerber and Vallejo play catch. And now Vallejo will retreat all the way back to Crobat. Can't be touched by Burgos. That's a dangerous play. Finally cleared by the Blizzard. They've been doing a lot of defending here. They got to try to get something going the other direction. But they've been on their heels this entire second half. Duluth FC has been playing phenomenally. Pritchard goes for the cross. You have to feel like the next goal that Duluth FC scores might be a dagger. But here comes Morgan. He's going to try to put one in for the Blizzard after a misplay there by Vallejo, but he was able to recover nicely. Another heavy touch by Vallejo. A little careless with the ball. Pritchard. That ball through, and now Pritchard gets the return, and he'll flip the field. Gerber has it. To play that ball through, but the clearance by Moreno. Throw for Duluth FC coming up. Next sponsor is Lakeville Brewing Company. Check out one of their 3 locations in the South Metro. Their Lakeville Brewing on the lake in Lakeville reopens soon. Throw in coming up now for Duluth FC on the far sideline. As we are approaching the 70th minute. Time running out on the Blizzard to try to come back in this game. This is flipped towards the goal by Carly. Now Pritchard tracks it down. Tried to go for the Meg, but McGoey read it. And Pritchard trying to save it. Did he? They are going to say no as this ball goes out of bounds. And Pritchard is a little slow to his feet. And it'll be a goal kick coming up for the Blizzard. Our next sponsor is the local pub. Visit one of their 3 metro locations for great food, a soccer match, and a great time at the local pub. 70th minute of action, 2-1 lead for Duluth FC. Liam Pritchard has scored both goals today for Duluth FC. His first 2 goals of the season, and has been a big part of this game. Duluth FC, or Minnesota Blizzard, they scored their only goal back in the first half and led this game actually 1-0. Burgos will take this one. Goal by DiGrado. But that has just been all they've had. They had a couple of chances. Could have 3 goals if they were able to take advantage of the opportunities afforded to them by the Duluth FC defense, but we're just unable to. We'll see if that cost them here. Another good save by Burgos on Guerrero. Boy, Burgos has just needed to be phenomenal today. That's his, by my count at least, which is a very unofficial one, the 7th save of the game for Danny Burgos. Here comes a corner for Duluth FC. Pritchard is standing over it and lining it up for it to be an outswinger here. Right-footed kick is in, driven low to the top of the box, flip back into the mixer. Long shot from distance, another save by Burgos. Magalhães has had that look with the right foot. Burgos has just been reading everything. Another corner, this time they go short. It's Pritchard. Takes the touch heavy, drives it into the box again. Flip back out. Shot not there. And now Estrada Cortez will try to get the Blizzard going, but all he could do was just kick it all the way down. McGoey was nowhere near it. Ball management from Duluth FC's back end hasn't been there. Oyebamiji driving, crossing, turned aside by DiGrado. Oyebamiji will get back to it. Tries the cross again. Soaring off the shoulder, headed, not quite out of the box yet. Now finally cleared by the Blizzard. but just essentially everything lately. And this entire second half has been on the right end of the field. Duluth FC has played with just this an urgency that the Blizzard have yet to match in this half. Now here they come again. Should be a corner, I think. It was originally going to be called a goal kick, but the ruling got changed. So it's going to be an FC corner now. In swinger, it's headed up. And foul called on Duluth FC. So crisis averted there for the Blizzard. Now they got to try to find a way to possess the ball and play some offense. Everything has been on the defensive side. The rain seems to have eased up here. And now here come the Blizzard, or there comes Duluth again. Gomez outside, comes in with the cross, but nobody there on the back post. A good steal by DiGrado. Leads that ball forward, but McGoey just could not quite track it down. 75th minute, just 15 minutes left to go here. Alari's Bar and Barbecue in St. Paul, serving legendary food since 1949. Come grab a drink and catch a game at St. Paul's renowned sports bar, Alari's Bar and Barbecue. Chirac. Big back pressure from behind, and he gets tackled. That should be a card. And that was just taken out from behind. It was Wilton Chirac. Willen Chirac. He gets back to his feet. Doesn't look like a card, though. Very interesting what has and what has not been a card today. And now the Blizzard able to move it just a little bit further forward. And the chance to keep possession with the throw. Estrada Cortez. Chirac. Now DiGrado. Chirac. Middle. Estrada Cortez. Back out. DiGrado shot! And that got blocked up front. McGoey tracks it down. Now DiGrado, left-footed blast. Now that gets blocked out. And now FC's counter is interrupted by that ball going out of bounds. DiGrado try to dry that thing off. And then he just laser beams a header, interrupted by Pritchard. Pritchard takes it off of Oyebamiji's foot. Moved up and over. Miranda kept it away for the moment, but now here comes DiGrado. Willen Chirac. Bad pass that gets intercepted by Vallejo. Look out. Here comes McGoey. Just a little heavy on the touch. The second leading goal scorer in the North Conference with 4 on the season. Looking at almost the exact same look he got earlier in the half from the other side of the field, but put it a little too far out in front of his body, allowing Crobot to get there. Here's Pritchard, drives it in low. Out high. Gomez. Now it's Carly. Miranda. Up top, and that's an easy save for Burgos. And ironically, that's the one that he let out of his grasp for just a second. He threw that one forward, trying to hunt for McGoey, but just out of his reach. Vallejo puts FC right back onto the attack. As we enter the 79th minute, Pritchard, flag comes up this time for offside. Our next sponsor is Union 32 Bar in Eagan. Union 32 Craft House is uniquely a Minnesotan, featuring a dog-friendly patio. Bring your pups and enjoy the sun. Trivia Mafia every Thursdays as well at 7 p.m. at Union 32 Bar in Eagan. DiGrado with a 50-yard bomb there. Good moves put on by Vallejo. Now it's Pritchard. Oyebemiji's making a run. And Burgos will kick it out of bounds. Locker running every step of the way with Oyebemiji there. Miranda will come in and take this throw. 80th minute. And so time is certainly becoming a factor for the Blizz. Another throw coming up. A third goal by Duluth FC would be a killer. The quality team they've been putting the pressure on all night. The reigning Midwest region champions and national semifinalists last year. This is trouble. Hell, Guerrero was looking. This ball goes out of bounds, but the counterattack interrupted. This will allow Duluth FC to get back on defense. That ball being cleared out of bounds. DiGrado. Long ball forward. Not quite there. You can kind of just see the desperate plays by the Blizzard, perhaps going for plays that they wouldn't normally. Pritchard gets it to the middle. A little too far. Gomez has it. Oh, want it back. And tries to spin inside. Ashton Hostler gets taken down from behind. This will be a card. Hostler will get back up to his feet. Be another free kick here for the Blizzard. And the third yellow card handed out today to Duluth FC, and yet it feels like there could have been a lot more. Locker will flip the field. Here comes the big ball. Headed out by Duluth FC. Pritchard. Oyebemiji on the run. Burgos reads it, comes out, and kicks it out. Pritchard. Now Carly. Does it go out of bounds? And it'll be the Blizzards' ball and a throw-in opportunity. Holiday Inn in Lakeville is the official summer away team hotel for the Blizzard. That's Holiday Inn in Lakeville. Topper's Pizza. Enjoy great Topper's Pizza today at one of their many metro locations. Win a free pizza at our halftime raffle. Man, it sure looked like Chirac just got dumped and tripped there. Pritchard keeps this one alive for Duluth FC. Gerber. Just one to the far side of the field. Man, just the ball movement by Duluth FC. When they have had the opportunity to try to clear, they've been able to do so. And the Blizzard have usually just been one and done. Time really starting to become a factor. 7 minutes left to go before whatever stoppage time there might be. This game was tied at 1 apiece in the first half at the end of it. Duluth took the 2-1 lead on Liam Pritchard's second goal of the game. And now the Blizzard have work to do. First have to try to avoid this rush. Guerrero. And now dangling through the defense, crossing in, Burgos. Handles that play from Gomez. DiGrado met defensively, goes down, foul called. Now 6 minutes left to go. Apologies for that score bug. Just now getting that set to show you guys how much time has gone by here. McGoey, and now Just has some space. He'll take it. Just will fire it from distance. Perhaps he'll advise as that goes well wide and out of bounds. So you got that clock working now for you. Apologies again for that. So all the viewers taking this one in from the comfort of their own homes and not having to battle the rain. It has since ceased, though. The rain has stopped falling, and now all the umbrellas have been put away down in the stands. A nice crowd on hand to catch this one. Oyebamiji, and this allows FC the clear. Miranda with a jumping clearance. Pritchard got a piece of it. Handball here. This is going to go off of Carly. And now it'll be Matt Locker who will take it. Grado comes out to meet it. Hermanson. Back for Just, I should say. Just taken down from behind, but will play on. And Burgos trying to keep that moving quickly and lost it out of bounds. Second half starting to wind down. A 2-1 lead for Duluth FC. Does Minnesota have a miracle in them? This will help. Careless pass by Duluth FC. Fans here urging the home team on. Can they find the equalizer? Planet Soccer is our next sponsor. Visit one of their 4 metro locations for all of your soccer needs. A booming kick from Duluth FC. And they're able to come up with the possession. Flag stays down. Gomez inside. Locker got a piece. And this is going to be a corner. Or will it? Might be a throw, actually. A good attempt to save it there by the Blizzard. Pritchard's going to check out of the game. Get some fresh legs out there for him. Duluth will try to salt the rest of this game away. Not too much time left. Ball is in. And goal kick. Sense of urgency now, it looks like, for the Blizzard. Burgos is pushing everybody up the field. Settled down by Chirac, who is tackled from behind. Again, no call. Carly. This will be a throw for Duluth FC, but again, just stuck on their half of the field. Got to try to find a way to get this ball forward and play some offense, and they just haven't been able to do it basically this entire half. Locker has the clearance. Hostler, and now McGoey's on the run. Kean McGoey on the dance floor. McGoey still has it. Goes for the cross. It's just too strong. And cleared. Kept in for the moment by the Blizzard. Odoya Bemiji wins that battle. And he'll dribble. And hold it. Deep one towards the box. So go out of bounds for the Blizzards. Throw in. We're in a stoppage time now. Slightly farther down the field into the attacking half now as a Blizzard throw. Max Just gets it downfield, but that's headed out. Will be another throw for the Blizzard. And they're going to let DiGrado take it. This one's probably going in towards the 18. Moving quickly, not everybody in position yet. He just launches it, headed up into the air, now out. Not a bad first touch to settle and keep it in the attacking half. Ball launched back into the mixer. Settled down. Blizzard player has to come out to meet this ball. Long shot! So close from Locker, but just over the bar. They're certainly going to take their time with this. Ball will just be launched down the field again, headed back into the attacking half by Minnesota. Oye Bemidji will race after for Duluth. Comes free, Mejia. His pass is intercepted almost by Connell. Blizzard have to find a way to win this back, though. They got to have 2 on the ball. Duluth just playing keep away now. Foul. It's too bad, too, because I don't know if Just realized it, but the Blizzard are about to get that ball back. Instead, Just with a nice shove and sits Miranda down. But that's a foul all day, every day. Miranda directs everybody towards the box, and he'll serve it in. It's a good ball. Burgos just shoved his own teammate, trying to get to it. Back out high, Miranda. Settles it down. Miranda protects, and he gets discarded. Bodies tumble. And a man is down for Duluth FC. Another foul is going to be called here. This is going to go on Duluth. Into the 5th minute of stoppage time. This might be the last chance for the Blizzard. Trailing 2-1. DiGrado will serve it down in deep. And this will be a throw if they can hurry and get it off. And quickly, another clearance. Sam Holmberg throws it in, but again, it gets intercepted. Locker's going to have to use his goalkeeper, Burgos, and Burgos will send it upfield. It's emphatically headed back towards the middle. Oyo Bemidji found himself free. He put it over the goal. Time is still ticking. How much more time left does the Blizzard have? And it turns out that's it. Time has expired. Duluth FC takes down the Minnesota Blizzard today by a score of 2-1. A fun game here from Lakeville North High School, but in the end, Duluth FC just a little too good for Minnesota today. The Blizzard, they had that lead 2-1, but were just unable to hold it, or had that lead 1-0, I should say, off the goal from Devan DiGrado, but we're just unable to hold on to the lead, and that's all it took for Duluth FC. They got a couple of looks to try to tie this game, and 2 goals from Liam Pritchard later, and Duluth FC coming up with the victory by a score of 2-1. A couple of chances for the Blizzard that they're gonna be hanging their heads about in this post game for sure. Estrada Cortez at the end of the first half with a chance from just inside the box to let one fly, and he did. Hit it off the top of the bar. And then the second half, a chance for Kian McGoey, one-on-one with the goalie down the right side. But David Krobot was there to make the stop on McGoey. And if the Blizzard were able to pot even one of those, we're looking at a tied game, and perhaps able to make them both, well, then they would be the ones to walk out of here victorious today. But instead, we'll have to settle for a 2-1 defeat at the hands of Duluth FC. Duluth FC picks up the season sweep over the Blizzard. 2 1-goal victories, and they improved to 5-0-1 in the conference and are still at the top of the table with 15 points ahead of Siouxland United FC with 9 points. That's the only team that they've lost to so far this year. But as they are now going to be 6 points clear of them pending results tonight. The Blizzard, they fall. 2-1-4 is the record now for Minnesota. And they will remain in 4th place, results pending tonight. So still in playoff positioning here. But as it would stand, they would probably need to be playing against this Duluth FC team again, should these results stand. So you probably want to get out of this spot if you can help it. But I'm sure the Blizzard would just be happy to make the playoffs at this point, as they are now 2-1-4. Up next for the Blizzard, they hit the road and take on the Iowa Demon Hawks next Saturday. And that's a 2-game road trip for the Blizzard before their home finale 2 weeks from today against Siouxland United FC here at Lakeville North High School. And that will be our next broadcast on Game Time Media. For Duluth FC, they are hitting the road for a battle midweek against the Joy Athletic Club. So they'll be making the trip back down to the Twin Cities area to take on Joy. And that will be on the 17th of June. I believe that is a Wednesday that game will be taking place. So Duluth FC against Joy Athletic Club next. And the Minnesota Blizzard will be hitting the road for 2 games and taking on the Iowa Demon Hawks and then the Joy Athletic Club. And then we'll head home and take on Siouxland United FC in the final game of the regular season for the Blizzard, who suffered today their first loss at home. They fall to 2-1-1 at home, and that's gonna be it pretty much for this broadcast this evening. We thank you for joining us tonight from Lakeville North High School. Minnesota Blizzard, they got the goal from DiGrado, but it just wasn't enough, as Duluth FC, 2 goals from Liam Pritchard later, take this one by a score of 2-1. That is officially going to wrap it up for us from Lakeville North High School. We thank you for joining us tonight on Game Time. The Blizzard come up just short against Duluth FC by a score of 2-1. Well, we hope to see you next time, June 28th, for the regular season finale as the Blizzard battle Siouxland United FC. We'll talk to you then, everybody. And until then, have a good rest of your evenings. We'll see you next time.